Ah yes, OG YouTube, what a time that was. From DanTDM's mod adventure with Dr. Treoris, to Sunday and Team Crafted goofing around in this legendary Minecraft map that is this prison, to Nigahiga and Smosh making random and funny skits, to Markiplier doing let's plays with Jacksepticeye doing basically the same thing, but instead of a deep smoothing calm voice, he had an Irish accent with cussing. Okay, a lot of cussing. And now they're beefing with these three gentlemen about a lunch packet. More on that later. Anyway, if you remember any of these YouTube legends, please do enjoy these next few minutes of nostalgia as we relive our childhood memories on this platform. Before we get into this video, I must note that not every OG YouTuber is in this video. I put the ones that I watch the most. Starting with Sunday and Team Crafted. The reason why I said Sunday as an individual is because he's my favorite of the bunch. The Lucky Block and 100 Ways to Die videos that would follow the disband of Team Crafted are Sunday in his second prime. But back to Team Crafted for a minute, they were in what I like to call the founding generation of Minecraft YouTubers alongside creators like DanTDM, Stampy Longhead, Lely, and popular MMOs. The Team Crafted made a lot of classics, but most notable are the Cops and Robber videos. My favorite being the one where Sunday forgot to change his skin from Derp Sunday, so he just kinda went wild. Also, did anyone else think that Skydo's Minecraft shoes were his foot chopped off? No? Just me? Also, I liked the vlog where Benji Canadian and Sunny went around to shoot people with Nerf guns. That was pretty fun to watch. Now, back to Sunday, the 100 Ways to Die with Amber and Craner were a time of itself. I remember also answering the question alongside and always getting them wrong. I also liked the Lucky Block challenges where Craner always loses for whatever reason, mainly because Sunny and his genius idea with his villain ass laugh. When you hear that, you know he's gonna win. Markiplier and Jacksepticeye. I'm putting them together mainly because they do similar content and I think they're pretty close. But they do have their own individual golden moments I will always laugh at and remember. For Jack, who I must admit I watched a little more than Mark, I loved his Drop Simulator videos and his Skate 3 videos, but I think just the first one. I'm pretty sure I learned swearing from him as well. Of course, there are many more clips from Jack that I love. As for Mark, I mainly watch his FNAF content because my dad didn't want me to play it, but he never said I couldn't watch it. Anyway, my favorite clip has to be this one.
The first night is never usually that bad in any of the games, so I'll play through.
My brother binged watched his Subnautica series. I would remember because I also watched it sometimes. When I asked my brother of his favorite OG YouTubers, he said Nigahiga, Filthy Frank, and Markiplier, mainly because of the Subnautica series. Speaking of which, Nigahiga. Oh boy, where do I start? He was special. I remember my father thought he was funny. I always asked myself how he pulls off looking the exact same but with different clothes. For example,
strong man, have a seat. Strong man, have a seat.
Anyway, my first memory of him was in the How to Run for President video. I still laugh at that video every now and then. There are some jokes in there that I liked, like this one.
If North Korea attacks South Korea, how will you react?
Not only will we protect South Korea, but East and West Korea as well, and every other direction in between. We're still not sure which side Northeast Korea is on, but thanks to my future Vice President Kanye, we know that we have Northwest on our side.
Or this one.
I believe that people kill people, but I've always believed that people kill guns, and just like
I also like this Dear Ryan where he basically does the things his comment told him to do. If you didn't know, then you're not cultured fuck. For example, when he ripped off Dude Perfect and made everyday trick shots, or when he played a piece of cardboard, or when he did a mime fight. But most of all, I liked his random skits, like how to be ninja, or how to hide your farts. With that being said, it is safe to say that I loved him and his crew. So you can only imagine my heartbreak when this video came out. And speaking of people leaving, Smosh. When Anthony left, I thought Smosh would die 2 weeks later. But they managed to stay alive and funny with their stereotype videos, or how they call it, every blank ever. Those are pretty funny by the way. Before Anthony left, Smosh was at its peak. The skits in those days are always something to laugh at, like Homeless Millionaire where he had a ball cap on and almost got killed by homeless people, or the Pokemon in Real Life series, amen to whoever wore that Pikachu costume. But my absolute favorite was Food Battle, but they ended it in 2016, my heart broke. But the Food Battle vids were dope. Ian always having his totally not gay pink frosted sprinkled donut, and Anthony always switching food every time, even if he won. Which, to me, doesn't make any sense. Finding out that the goal was to kill each other also kinda scarred me, not gonna lie. But shout out to this man. Filthy Frank. Just like most people, I'm pretty sure we all know him from doing Pink Guy in the streets of Japan, which makes it more funny, considering Japanese people are more quiet and less wild. Just imagine you're a Japanese businessman and you see this. If you only knew that he was probably making more money than you must have been fuming. I remember he made a book and my cousin gave it to my other cousin as a Christmas gift. It was the funniest shit in the world. Besides Pink Guy, I loved his skits, which I argue were just as good as Pink Guy. But I think he stopped with YouTube because, you can't make this type of content forever and get away with it. Pause. If you're wondering where DanTDM is, just wait, I'll get to him in a minute or the end of the video. I might also address the Lunchly and give my opinion on it. Guava Juice. I know he doesn't come to mind when you see the term OG YouTuber, but bear with me for a second. He was part of Wasabi, then he left, then he rejoined, and now he's doing his own thing again. Anyway, I watched his 3 AM and sign videos, aka the videos where he screamed the most, which led to my dad taking away my tablet, well, banning me from YouTube for 6 months because he thought he was a bad influence and he doesn't like screaming content. Looking back, I gotta say he was not wrong. I would have probably developed brain rot pretty early if I had continued watching him. Nonetheless, his videos were still pretty entertaining though. SML. Before he got demonetized on his first OG channel, the videos were something else. I found it pretty entertaining. For me, it all started with the first Happy Meal video, Chef Phoebe calling Junior a brat, and then pulling these shenanigans in a drive-thru at McDonald's was peak. To this day, I still can't decide on my favorite SML video. I know many people saying they're washed now, but I disagree. SML was worse when Copo was first introduced, and when they got warned by Nintendo. But ever since they figured things out, they've been making decent and funny videos. Game Theory. This was the channel I'd watch to feel smart and tell my friends about the next day. They couldn't give less of a shit. Always when my dad tells me to watch a documentary or something educational, or something that isn't just raw gameplay and brain rot, I'd watch Game 3. Madpad was also a legend. The cameos he made on other channels like Random Encounters. He has a good singing voice, to be fair. Okay, maybe not. Anyway, I'm sure we were all heartbroken when we saw this video, so I'm not going to go into that again and save us the heartbreak for a second time. Stampy and DanTDM. Again, because their videos were so similar and also had close relations in the past, I'd put them together. Starting with Stampy, I'd be crazy not to mention his lovely world with his iconic
This is Stampy, and welcome to a Minecraft Let's Play video. And another video inside of Stampy's lovely world.
the adventures he'd do with moving boats and submarines. I'm still asking myself how the fuck he did that. Also, the amount of cake he ate must have given him type 4 diabetes multiple times. Now, if you had to guess how many episodes of Stampy's Lovely World do you think there are? 100? 200? 450? Well, this brother made 824 episodes of Stampy's Lovely World. Each episode being around 20 to 25 minutes long. I also want to mention the Minecraft story mode with Stampy, DanTDM, Captain Sparkles, and more. Basically, this white pumpkin is a murderer, so I had to do a murder mystery type thing to solve it. Spoiler alert, Dan killing Sparkles on accident was pretty funny. He pushed a button for the record. Speaking of Dan, he was probably the one I enjoyed watching the most out of all the people I watched. SML and Smosh do come close. Anyway, the mod adventures with Treyor's are iconic, so is this lab. Him yelling at Treyor's for doing idiotic things are also pretty iconic. People eventually made memes out of it like this.
Dr. Treyor's! What are you doing? Well, I told you not to be homophobic today! Dr. Treyor's! What are you doing? No, we can't burn the gays! Dr. Treyor's! No! Where'd he go, the homophobic bot?
Which I found pretty funny. I could go on and keep telling you about my favorite moments from DanTDM, but I just want to mention that he didn't get into any internet drama as far as I remember. Alright, that. And now comes the time we've all been waiting for. Or not. Another YouTuber talking about the Lunchly controversy to get views. I'm pretty sure everyone is up to date with the situation, so I'm not gonna get into that. I'll keep my opinion short. Lunchly is a shit product. Mainly because the concept of Lunchables and Lunchly, a processed pile of cardboard for lunch in such a small amount, is just a ripoff in itself. $5 for such a product is just too much. I was gonna say just rebrand it to Snackly or something, but $5 for that would still be absurd. I must say though, Lunchly is getting a bit too much hate, which I understand because it looks like and probably is a money making scheme. The idea of Prime and Feastables collaborating is a cool one, just not like this. I also think they got a lot of hate because of the video they made.
We're not biased at all, but ours is way better.
and then promoting it as healthy and a better alternative.
It's better than Lunchables. That's our stance.
And the response videos they made.
More matured reply than our. Honestly, I'm sorry, but being mature, man. Just have some dickheads that don't deserve my maturity.
Hey, Junior's so funny.
Probably caused all the hate. Although some videos that they make that are basically ads for Lunchly are pretty funny. For example,
Off this building to tell you about our new product Lunchly. Did you tell them about the turkey stack? I don't know, brother. Say it, you can stand up.
but I think it's about time these three gentlemen respected the elderly. With that being said, we had a look back at our childhood in terms of YouTube. If you want to experience more nostalgia, then I recommend checking out the video I made about nostalgic mobile games. Goodbye.